gets me every time. Welcome to Dave McDonald's Saturday Morning How to Draw Cartoons, live here from Corny Creek Farms. Thank you, sound effect department. In fact, today we're going to need you a little bit. We're going to draw a character that makes a sound. It's a bird. No, not a duck. No, not another duck. It is a bird, though. And it's a bird that's popular around this time of year in November here in America, a holiday where we celebrate Thanksgiving. Yes, it's the turkey, Thanksgiving Day, where American families sit around and eat way too much food. And afterwards, old people sit in chairs and fall asleep at 3 in the afternoon. Tell me that's not true. But we're going to draw the turkey. Yes, we are the famous turkey. Now this turkey is going to be escaping the wrath of Thanksgiving. He's going to try not to be the dinner. So he's on the run. So here we go. Let's grab your pencil. And for our turkey on the run, let's start with his head. His head shape is going to be an oval that's kind of tilted on its side. Let me just check. Make sure, okay, we're in frame here. That's the head shape. Now inside the head, we're going to need 2 eyeballs. So kind of at the same angle. See how this is leaning over? It's not straight up and down, it's leaning this way. He's on the run, so his head, and he's looking backwards. You don't know that yet, but his head is kind of tilted backwards. So everything is on this axis here. So 2 eyeballs, a head shape. Now he needs his big beak. He's got his mouth is kind of open, so a curved line that goes underneath the eyeballs and out towards the front. And then it comes back, go up a little bit and then come down, and then he's going to have kind of a frightened look. So like that. So, again, curved line under the eyes, point, comes back towards the head, backwards letter C, and the whole beak is right there. And I like to do this sometimes. You know, if you've been watching my videos, we erase a lot of the pencil lines at the end because I end up inking these characters. I draw them in ink. And I erase the pencil lines at the end. But just to make it a little easier for you to see, today I'll erase some lines a little bit early, right? Okay, so there's his head, his 2 eyeballs. His pupils will be looking, they're going to make them real tiny and beady, looking back this way. And maybe some upturned, yeah, he's a little worried. He's on the run. All right. Let's see, maybe his tongue at the bottom, and we'll end up filling this in at the end with ink. But his tongue is just a curved line inside of the mouth. All right, so there's basically the head. Now they do have that weird thing that starts in between their eyes and then kind of folds over the side of their beak. Do you know what that's called? Well, I think the wattle is down here underneath the beak, but on the top, you got this big chunk of, a little flap of skin they call the snood. S-N-O-O-D, snood. I think that's because they're snooty. No, it's snooty. No, that's just what it's called. All right. So let's continue. The neck. Let's come just straight down with a couple of straight lines, just like a little baseball bat there. At the end, you can make little curved lines where the feathers begin, the big feathers. Now, his body, we're going to make like, well, it's kind of like a half circle. So straight line on the back and then half circle like this on the bottom. Circle, like a curved line on the bottom, straight on the top, although at the back side we're going to make his backside come up a little bit. but it's basically a half a circle, or half an oval if you really want to be technical about it, right? All right, now he's got that big plumage in the back, all these big feathers. So that we're going to start as, just do this with a curved line here, and put a curved line here. And we'll connect those with another curved line. So slightly curved here, this is almost straight here. Connect them with a curved line. All right, and then on the top we can put these little half circles to indicate individual feathers. And they don't have to be the same size, they don't have to be the same width. Right? You can look however you want. And a lot of people draw these differently. Then sometimes people will draw another line on the inside because of the different colors of the feathers. And we can indicate the individual feather lines going from the body to the top of the tail by just doing this. Comics and cartooning is not about high detail, typically. It's more about simplification. So you don't need to draw every single detail and every single line. All right, that's one of the fun things about cartooning. All right, so he's going to be running. So let's do this. He's going to be chugging along with his arms swinging from side to side. Let's give him, do a little elbow macaroni here for his arm. Remember an elbow macaroni? Just a little curved tube. Put a big circle at the end of that, or an oval, and that will become his fist. He's, again, running real fast like this with his fist. So that's going to be his thumb. And this will be his 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers. You can make that bottom part of his arm look almost like feathers. All right, so there's his big arm swinging. Now, 1 foot is out in front, so we need another elbow macaroni down here. Let me just check my camera. You can see that elbow macaroni with a big oval on the bottom of it. It's his big sneaker. Wait, do turkeys wear sneakers? I think when they're running from Thanksgiving dinner, they do. Another elbow macaroni down here at the bottom, right? And then a big oval for that sneaker, right? And then the way that that sneaker will look, we'll do this. Flatten it out a little bit on the bottom. Give it a, the white sole of it right there. And then the toe, typically that white rubber toe there. And you can go wild. You can draw all the laces. You could just draw a couple laces like that. See, he's got his little lines on his little turkey legs. And then this one, do this. This is more like the top of the shoe. Maybe do an X where the laces are there, and it's up to you. You can draw them however you want. But there's our turkey in motion. Now, little shadow underneath the character to indicate that he's up off the ground. Some motion lines to indicate that he's really zipping along. So behind the character, remember I think we did a whole video about motion lines. So a couple straight lines that trail off the back, and then some curved lines that run through those, as if the image of the shoe is dragging. It's so you're seeing it so fast, you're seeing the shoe kind of images of that behind it, because it's so fast. You could even draw, sometimes you'll see in animation, they'll draw several lighter shoes back here, because your eyes are technically, they're trying to indicate that you're catching up to the image of that shoe moving. All right. In the front, maybe some big curved motion lines like that. And then we can even do some motion lines off the tail. All right. And then maybe some accent lines coming out of the mouth like he's screaming for help, running away. He doesn't want to be Thanksgiving dinner. No, who would? I don't blame him. All right, let's begin inking. Could even leave that little reflection there. The expression comes from these eyebrows. Upturned eyebrows just indicates to me that says fear. And maybe a couple little sprouts of hair up there. All right. Beak. Like tracing, right? And then inside the mouth, come down like this. The tongue is just a curved line. And then you can just fill in around the tongue with your ink pen. See that? And let's see that. Snood starts there and then comes flopping on this side. Maybe we'll leave a little white shine there, a little highlight. And let's see. Accents for the yelling. All right. And what I like to do here, just a little shadow underneath on that neck. Again, anytime when there's a mass or volume over something that's small, it might cast that shadow down on there. Maybe give that some texture with some dots. All right, the shoe. As you notice, I'm right-handed, so I'm trying to ink from left to right. I usually start at the top and go down, but left to right. It doesn't always work that way, but it helps. If you start over here and ink this way, chances are you might drag your hand through some ink that's still wet and you could smudge your drawing. So you know I'm actually thinking ahead if you see me drawing like this, left to right, top to bottom, because I don't want to smudge my ink, right? And get that toe. And we could give it that little symbol on the side. Just like that. Some lines for the side, the edge. All right, there's one wacky cartoon foot. Let's do his big fist as he's making his way to safety, hopefully, for his sake, right? And let's see, elbow macaroni. I guess I should go up here and work on tail a little bit. Curved lines, one after the other. Now I remember in school, in elementary school, we used to, do they still do this where you put your hand down on a piece of paper and you trace your hand and the thumb becomes the head of the character and then this becomes the feathers? That was fun. It's a good way to learn how to use your hand as an assistant to draw something fun. So I hope they're still doing that in school. And then let's see, let me turn this. just so I can. And I want to change to a technical pen. Remember we did that one video just talking about the different pens. If you haven't seen that, might want to go back and look and see why I choose to use different pens and what their purposes are. This is a technical pen. You can see that the line is pretty standard. It doesn't get thicker or thinner the harder I push it down, unlike this brush marker, which does get thicker and thinner. Okay, is that still in the frame? Yes. Okay, now let's get the some of these lines, just a little hint of the individual feathers. And that's fun to color because you can make them all different colors. You can do shades of gold and brown. Have all sorts of fun with the colors. All right, there's the shoe. The little legs. And we can put the little laces. And for the shadow, go with a Sharpie at the bottom, a little thicker. Check that out. All right, let's start to erase our pencil lines so that all we're left with is our turkey on the run. Poor little guy. Well, at least with sneakers, he's got a head start. Looks like he's pretty fast. How did yours come out? Are you happy with it? Do you like the way the feathers came out? That's fun. You can make the feathers look like whatever you want. They don't have to look like what I drew, right? Your turkey doesn't have to look exactly like mine. Chances are it doesn't, and that's fine. I'll bet it looks even better. That's one thing I don't like about when I do these videos. I don't get a chance, unlike when I'm doing school programs, I don't get a chance when I'm recording videos to see your work, right? Now when I go to schools, or I'm doing virtual school programs, I get to see the students' work. And it's always exciting to see how they interpreted what I showed them. Because we all have a different artistic eye. We all interpret things a little bit different. And it's very exciting to see, right? We don't want it to look exactly the same. That'd be kind of boring, actually. Don't you think? All right, there's our little turkey. Thanksgiving turkey running towards safety. Run! Yay! Hey, now the sound effect for that bird. We didn't have the gobble gobble sound effect because our sound effect department failed us on that. But here's the sound that this one would make if he's running real fast. All right, my friends, I hope you had fun today. We'll see you the next time. Until then, take care of one another. Be safe and stay well. All right, bye-bye. From Corny Creek Farms!